Hello, Luann. This is John with OPALS. I'm glad to help out. So, for printing barcode labels, and you do have your Avery 5160, I don't know if I asked you, I don't think we talked about spine labels. We sell spine labels. We support a 1 by 1 2/3 Demco label. We sell it. We can send it to you if you like. I'll put it in an email. All right. To print your barcode labels for newly cataloged books, admin, reports and tools, item acquisitions, and I see today you catalog 6 records, okay? Um, just a couple things. Typically, I know they come like this sometimes through Z import. You really typically don't want FIC in brackets, and I see that there are some like that. Um, and as far as printing out a barcode for the ebook, well, there's really nothing to put it on, so you don't have to print it. I see you've got one here. No problem. You just toss it out, I suppose. And I'm going to show you something else about ebooks that might be very helpful for you with regard to barcodes. I'll show you that in a moment. So here we are. We've got your 6 items cataloged. Some librarians start on a Monday and they end their cataloging on Friday and print the labels. That's why we provide a from and to, so you could step back. Let's just see if you did any Monday. So you have 6 of today. Let's create the report. Okay, the 6 are from today, but you could have started back and run it from a from to. I'm selecting all pages. And you'll see they're all selected on the left. Print item label sets, print barcode labels. You can choose with title, author, call number, school name, or without the call number. I'll just keep it as the default with title, author, call number, assuming you have the Avery 5160. So I'm going to click Print Selected. And here are the labels. Again, if you don't want the call number, choose another option. One trick for printing labels in probably any library system, when you click the printer to print and put your label sheets in, you want to make sure that it's set scale to 100, not fit to page, because fit to page assumes maybe it's a school paper I'm turning in and I want the margins to look good. Well, if you choose fit to page, the labels start pushing off the label itself to make the margins look good. That's not what you want. Just make sure it shows scale 100 and then you can click print. Okay. Another thing, I've still got select all. I want to show you one more thing. So these barcodes would have 6 labels, which would leave more labels on your sheet, and that's what this is for. So let's say 6, I think they're 30 per sheet. I don't know, I can't remember. I'm not seeing a sheet in my mind's eye, but let's say you did 6 labels. So you're going to start on row 2 and you're going to start on column 3. Let me show you what's going to happen. Print selected. And again, this is if you're using a sheet that's already been printed. See how it starts here and fills it in, assuming that these labels have been pulled off the sheet. It used to be that printer manufacturers did not like or advised not to put labels back in because the glue could come back out of the label and dirty up your printer. I don't see that anymore. They don't really mention that, so it seems fine to reuse sheets of paper. So that's your label printing. Now I'm going to move into your barcodes for ebooks, which makes sense because you'll never need to print them, and you'll have barcodes all ready for you specific to ebooks. Admin, reports and tools. The barcode range assignment and tables. Now you do have barcodes set up, and you're seeing right here in the table CPS and 0001 or something through 10,000. You've used 4248. You have 5752 available. Also, this is the place where libraries oftentimes for Junior Library Guild or Follett, they'll set up ranges for different vendors. Some librarians use, like for JLG, Junior Library Guild, they'll have a prefix of something with JLG in it. If you ever would like to do that and set up ranges for vendors, let me know. Glad to help out. For the ebooks, No, I'm starting over. I was going to write public and well, I'll just do that. Oh, I can't type, sorry. Okay, ebooks, public and purchased. Public meaning if you bring in ebooks from, say, Project Gutenberg or the like, or purchased if you're purchasing from a vendor. Okay, I always recommend EBK as a prefix to the ebook, and I'll give you a range of 9,000 to grow into. 1, 2, 3, 4 to 9,000, and that will be 7 characters, and we'll click Add New. I'm going to show you how this will come into play if you're cataloging a new ebook. Okay, I'm just going to pretend here for a moment. Well, actually, no, I'm going to use one of your the ISBNs you sent and just show you that in that clip. So I'm just going to stop the video a minute and go get an ISBN or two. And 1 minute here, just a sec. Okay, I'm back at your home screen, just about to catalog. Just 1 second, I'm going to Preferences, Z3950 servers. And right now you have the schools, Library of Congress, OPALS, St. Lawrence, Lewis County. I'm going to move this up because it's actually a better service. You've got this union, Orange Ulster Union, Palo Alto Union, and many more can be added. I have resources such as the entire state of North Carolina, New York State, all sorts of resources. I can add more if you feel as though you need additional resources, which would increase the likelihood of finding books. So there they are, and this is how you would add new, and I could show you that sometime as well. All right, catalog, items, Z import. All right, let's start with the school. I'm going to put in your ISBN. I'm just taking out the hyphens. I find it works better without the hyphens. Uh, and I would suggest when you're doing this, scan the ISBNs off the back of the book. I think if you scan it with your barcode scanner, they leave the hyphens off. Let's see if we find the book. Search. There's a hamster in my pocket. Now, just so you know, if it doesn't find it via the ISBN number, here's a little bit of a trick. You can put in the author's last name and a couple of words of the title. That's enough. I could even put in the publication date because there may be other versions of it. So I'll just throw that in as well. You don't have to. Well, I'll leave it off. Let's see how many there are out there. Using the Schools Union, about 4 to 5 million books. Search. And there it is again, same book. Okay, so we found the book using the author's last name, a couple of words of the title, could added more, and you have to be on anywhere, i.e. it searches anywhere in a MARC record. So now we're going to click the item. There's the cover if you need to put covers on. If they come up without a cover, I've got a short clip to show you how to do that. I always check the bib record to make sure it's good. Here I'm seeing brackets. I will not be adding those brackets when I get to the holding. There's your author, your title, your publication information. Very nice 520 summary note. All words are indexed. Number of 521s. It's won an award. The 586 a field. 650 subject fields. If there's something you would like to add to a record, wow, this has a lot of subject headings. You can always go over, let's say you wanted to add your own subject heading for whatever reason. You could click Add Data Field. You might want to try using a 690, which is a locally created subject heading, and put whatever you want in there. And you can add as many 690s or additional fields as you like. I'm just going to delete this. I think it's a good enough record. Okay, let's go to the holding record, which represents what you're holding in your hand. Okay, we're going to the top here. Okay, holding record. All right. G, that's the general collection. That's the bulk of your collection. That's an item type. I'm taking FIC off. 1 second. I want to look at your catalog. I want to see if you're using F or FIC. 1 second. I do see in your library you're using E. This is a Dewey number, so it's apparently an easy reader, probably a nonfiction Dewey. I just typed the word fun. Let me just type fiction just to get an idea of what you're using at your library. Okay, again, EFIC. FIC, there we are. All in caps. The cutter's all in caps. Perfect. Typically in the future, I would recommend not having these square brackets. Okay, great. So it'll be FIC. The author is Ewart, so that'll go in the I, EWA. If you had a suffix, a call number suffix, such as a volume number, etc., that would be an M. The K could be prefixes. Let's see if you have any. You do. Your prefix authority tool has been set up with BB, probably board book, E, easy juvenile maybe, or there's JYA. You can add to this. These are the prefixes, 852K. Now let me just show you something about the barcode. Manual entry is if you have a book that already has it on it and you're going to use the barcode. You don't want to reuse barcodes ever. It messes up indexes any system. Let me just show you the ebooks, public and purchased. There, it shows you the very first one. I'm not going to use it, but that's what you can use when you're cataloging ebooks, or if you're buying ebooks from a vendor, you could give them a range, something like that. But I'm not using that for this book. I'm going to go back to Califon Public School, CPS 0000.5. I'm not sure if you were using those. You can always change this, but I'm going to use it for the clip. I'll click OK. And that's already set up. So I'm going to click Save and Exit, Close. So we've cataloged a book. And let's go to your home page. I also wanted to mention something about your home page. Sorry, this video is a little long. You can change the colors on your home page. You can change the image. This is rather big. Takes a little while to get to the tabs, but there they are. We can add more tabs. There's all sorts of stuff you can do to your home page that I'm glad to help out with. Like I say, the colors, the icon in the top left. We have a whole suite now. I'll just show you briefly. A whole suite of nice icons you can use. So let's say I'm just going to go here. I could click these OPALS icons. Let's say I'd like to craft my own icon for something special. I can go to your tab, create a new button, use this color, say in a circle or a square. I'll keep it square. New icon. Let's get an image. So I'm going to go to my images and just get some image. Here we go. I'm picking an image, and there would be an image that you could put on, and then behind this, I'm just going to click Save. Okay. And there we go. Okay. And now let's put it here. So I'm going to click Opal's icon. I'm going to use this one. Okay. Oh, there it is. I'm not saving this. Then you could click this and click this, and you could put these image or these icons down on tabs. You could actually link this, say, to your school website. Going here, putting in your school URL, a title. Anytime people link images, I always recommend a new window. That way I can click the resource. It'll open up a new window. I can read it, and I'm still on my library page. I'm not going to save this, but that's just one little thing about your home page. You can change the text here. You can make it change there. You can put the different colors like this, or use the color wheel. And you've got all these options. You can take this QR code off as well. I'm not going to save this. I'm just going to cancel. All right, back to your home page. Sorry this is long. Friday night, get the popcorn out. There's a hamster in my pocket. That's the book I just cataloged. Okay. By the way, you can look at this as a bookshelf too, right in here. All right. As long as I'm here, well, I'm going to send you some other additional videos because this is over 14 minutes. I don't want it to be so long you won't watch it. So I'll send you additional. I hope this helps. And remember, when you're Z importing, if it doesn't find the ISBN, could be because of the dashes, or you can always put in author's last name, couple words of the title, publisher, pub date, whatever you like, make sure you use anywhere. Glad to help.